and welcome to Act It Out with Alice. Happy Monday. I hope you had a good weekend. I did. I was sitting in the sun actually and I got a little bit burned. So make sure you wear sunscreen if you go outside. We're going to be having lots and lots of fun this morning, but there are going to be a few things that I need you to get so you're all prepared for the different things we're going to do. So you're going to need a glass of water, as always. So some of you probably already got one of those. You're also going to need a ball, a little ball, or something like a ball. So if you've got a ball, perfect. If you haven't got a little ball, you could screw up a little bit of paper to make it like a little ball. Or even you could use a pair of socks. You know, when two socks are stuffed into each other, and that's like a little ball as well. You don't want a big ball, so we don't need a football. We need something a bit small. So a ball or a scrunched up piece of paper or a pair of socks would be great. That's the first thing. The second thing is a book. Any sort of book, but maybe an old book, because we are probably going to drop it on the floor. Okay, so don't bring your favourite book, because we wouldn't want it to get creased and crumpled. So bring a book that it doesn't really matter if it gets dropped on the floor. And then the last thing is a piece of paper, okay? It doesn't have to be plain. If it's got a picture on it, that's okay. So it could be scrap paper, but a piece of paper. If you don't have a piece of paper handy, you could use a little square of toilet paper. That would be fine, okay? So they're the things that you need. A glass of water, that's the first thing. Some sort of ball or socks. An old book and a piece of paper, okay? And you need one each of those things. Or you could take it in turns. But a ball, a piece of paper, and an old book, and of course a glass of water. So it might take you different amounts of time to find those things. So maybe just give the video a little pause, and then hopefully we'll all be able to regroup when you found those things. So you can give me a little pause. Pause. That's my pause position. Okay, well hopefully you've got all of those things. It was a glass of water, a ball or something like a ball, an old book, and a bit of paper, okay? Just put those things to one side for now, because we're actually not going to use them for a little while. We're going to do some other things first. We're going to start, as we always start, with our little copycat warm-up. So anything that I do, you do. You probably all know this by now, because we've done it lots of times. This is Bob waking up in the morning, so I'm going to put my music on. And we're going to get ready to start with a really big yawn. Okay, so just copy me if you don't know. So we're going to start with a big yawn. And another one. Can you touch your two hands? And swap.
Brilliant. Okay, I think we should do that all again. Supersonic, mega speed, like as fast as we can go. Okay, are you ready for this? This is going to be really fast. Okay, let's do it. I'm going to restart the music, just in case we run out of music. We're going to do it so fast. Okay, I mean fast, really fast. Okay, are you ready? Get set. We're going to do the big yawns. And go! Oh! Oh! Two hands. Other hands. Brilliant. I nearly forgot it in the middle then. I wonder if anyone saw me. I nearly got it wrong. Oh, well done. I hope you're feeling a little bit warmer. We're going to do one of my favourite warm-ups now. Some of you have done it before. It's all about planting things, growing things, peeling things, and then going absolutely crazy. Because today we're going to be thinking a lot about plants, different types of plants. So I thought, what a perfect warm-up to do some planting and some growing things. Perfect. So lots of you will know how it goes, but we'll just go through this. So you've got your seeds ready in your hand, and we start off with corn. We're going to plant and grow some corn. So we're going to go plant the corn and put it in the ground. Plant the corn. Plant the corn. Plant the corn. And then we're going to grow the corn. Grow the corn. Grow the corn. Grow the corn. Peel the corn. Peel the corn. Peel the corn. Peel the corn. And then this is the fun bit. Pop the corn. Pop the corn. Pop the corn. Pop the corn. And then we do the second verse, which is with potatoes. So we do plant potatoes. Plant potatoes. Then we do grow potatoes. Grow potatoes. Show your best. Jacket potato. Then we go peel potatoes. Peel potatoes. And then fists. Nice flat feet. We go mash potatoes. Mash potatoes. See if you can get your knees really high when you're mashing potatoes. And then the last one is bananas. So we go plant bananas, plant bananas. Then we're going to grow bananas. Grow bananas. Make a good banana shape. Peel bananas, peel bananas. And then, of course, go bananas. Go bananas. Okay, hopefully you've all got that. So we're going to start from the beginning. I'm actually going to have a quick drink. I'm out of breath already. Okay, let's do it. Get ready to go. We're going to start with corn. And off we go. Plant the corn, plant the corn. Plant the corn, plant the corn. And grow the corn, grow the corn. Grow the corn, grow the corn. Peel the corn, peel the corn. Peel the corn, peel the corn. And pop the corn, pop the corn.
grow potatoes. Grow potatoes, grow potatoes. Peel potatoes, peel potatoes. Peel potatoes, peel potatoes. And mash potatoes, mash potatoes. Mash potatoes, mash potatoes. And then bananas. Plant bananas, plant bananas, plant bananas, plant bananas, grow bananas, grow bananas, grow bananas, grow bananas, peel bananas, peel bananas, peel bananas, peel bananas, and go! Bananas, go bananas, go! Bananas, go bananas, keep going bananas, go bananas. So bananas. Brilliant. Whew. Well done, everyone. Have a little drink if you need to. Lots of jumping around. Fantastic. Okay. I've got a little challenge for you this morning. In fact, I'm going to give you lots of challenges this morning. But this is the first one. So yesterday, I was singing Head, Shoulders, Knees and Toes, which I'm sure is a song that everybody knows. And I thought, wouldn't it be fun to try and sing that song backwards? And then I thought of lots of other crazy ways to sing head, shoulders, knees and toes that made my brain explode a little bit. So I thought I would see if you guys can do it this morning. So we all know the song Head, Shoulders, Knees and Toes, but let's just practice. So we go head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes and eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Heads, shoulders, knees and toes. Easy peasy. Okay, we all know that song. But what about if we did the moves, but wait, I need to get this right in my head. What about if we did the moves, but we did it all backwards? So instead of going from the top of our body, from our head, down to our toes, we went from our toes up to our heads. And we also said the words backwards. So what about if we went toes, knees, shoulders, heads, toes, knees, shoulders, heads, and then this bit's hard, and nose, and mouth, and ears, and eyes, toes, knees, shoulders, heads. Okay, I wonder how you got on with that. It's the middle bit, it's that bit in the middle that's really hard, because normally it's eyes, ears, mouth, nose. So you have to go, and nose, and mouth, and ears, and eyes, backwards, okay? The whole thing backwards. So I thought we would try that. And then I thought, after that, what if we did the moves backwards, like this, but we said the words forwards? So when we do our toes, we say heads. So we sing it like normal, but we do it backwards. So then it would be head, shoulders, knees and toes, heads, shoulders, knees and toes, and eyes and ears and mouth and nose, heads, shoulders, knees and toes. I wonder if your brains have exploded yet. Okay, so that's the third one, is when we say the words in the right order, heads, shoulders, but we're doing the actions in reverse. Okay, I think there's one more as well, but I think we should give those a go. So, I want to try singing head, shoulders, knees and toes, just like normal, okay, one time. And then the second time, we'll do it all backwards. So we'll do toes, knees, shoulders, heads, toes, knees, shoulders, heads, and nose and mouth and ears and eyes, toes, knees, shoulders, heads. And then the third time, we'll sing it like normal, but we'll do the actions opposite. So heads, shoulders, knees and toes. Okay, That's the 3 that we're going to try. And then I've also got one more to make it even harder, okay, if you're feeling like experts. So let's have a go. I'm going to put some music on so that we can sing it to the music. Let's have a look. Okay. So just normal to start with. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes, and eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Heads, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Now we'll do the whole thing backwards. Ready? Toes, knees, shoulders, heads, shoulders, heads. Toes, knees, shoulders, heads, shoulders, heads, and nose and mouth and ears and eyes. Toes, knees, shoulders, heads, shoulders, heads. Now we'll sing it normal, but we'll do it backwards. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Heads, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes, and eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Heads, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Okay, well done. I wonder if anyone got that right. It is those middle bits with the face that I think is the hardest bit. Okay, I've got one more version to suggest. Okay, and this is where we sing it backwards. So we sing toes, knees, shoulders, heads, but we do it forwards. So we go toes, knees, shoulders, heads, toes, knees, shoulders, heads, and this is the bit I find really hard. Nose and mouth and ears and eyes. Toes, knees, shoulders, heads. And that comes straight after the one we just did, so I think it's going to be even more confusing. Let's just try that one more time. So we sing it like normal. No, we sing it backwards, but we do it like normal, okay? Let's try again, ready? Toes, knees, shoulders, heads, toes, knees, shoulders, heads, and what is it? No, I'm so confused. Okay, let's start again. Toes, knees, shoulders, heads, toes, knees, shoulders, heads, and nose and mouth and ears and eyes. Toes, knees, shoulders, heads. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if I'm going to get this right at all, because this is making my brain so confused. I want to see if we can try doing one normal head, shoulders, knees and toes. Then number 2, the whole thing backwards. So toes, knees, shoulders, heads. So we sing it backwards and we do it backwards. The 3rd time, we sing it forwards, but we do it backwards. So we say head, shoulders, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes. And then the last time, we sing it backwards, but we do it forwards. Toes, knees, shoulders, heads. Toes, knees, shoulders, heads, and nose and mouth and ears and eyes. Toes, knees, shoulders, heads. Okay, that's our challenge. I have no idea if I'm going to get this right. I think I might get it wrong. If I get it wrong, you can point and laugh at me. And I won't know because I'm on a screen. Okay, let's try again from the beginning. So it starts just normal. Head, shoulders, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes. And eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Heads, shoulders, knees it backwards. Toes, knees, shoulders, heads, shoulders, heads. Toes, knees, shoulders, heads, and nose and mouth and ears and eyes. Toes, knees, shoulders, heads, heads. Okay. I think I got that right, but there's a chance I just got confused and did it wrong. So I hope I got it right. I wonder if anyone else did. That has confused my brain so much this morning. I think it's the last two when you're like saying different things. It's quite confusing, isn't it? Pointing at one thing and saying something else. Oh, my brain. Well done if you got that right. Don't worry if you didn't. Maybe that's a crazy thing that you can practice over the next few days, or challenge your mum and dad to try and do it, because I think they might find it really hard. Have a little drink if you need one. We were thinking that head, shoulders, knees and toes is really a song, isn't it? About your parts of your body, going from the top of your body to the bottom of your body, or the way we did it, going from the bottom of your body to the top of your body. And today, I want us to think a little bit about not bodies, not human bodies, but plants, the bodies of plants, and all the different types of body parts or plant parts that there are. So I'm going to set you some challenges, okay, so that we can think about this. So the first challenge I want to set you is, I want you to stand on one leg, okay, and that one leg is glued to the floor. It's glued to the floor, and this leg is not allowed to touch the floor, okay? You have to stand on one leg. And I want you to wave your arms about and your back about and your leg about as much as possible, but you're not allowed to touch the floor with your other leg at all. And if you can, you're not allowed to hop, okay? Hopping is cheating. No hopping allowed, okay? So you can, if you've got a brother or a sister with you, or your mum or your dad, you have to check that they're not cheating and hopping. So stand on one leg and see how far you can reach forwards, and how far you can reach backwards, and how far you can reach to the sides. Oh, it's like you're in a strong wind. Imagine you're in a thunderstorm or a strong wind and you're trying to, that's quite hard. I don't know about you, but it feels quite hard to balance when you're doing that. Okay, next challenge, and I want you to decide if you think this is easier or if you think this is harder, okay? This time, you can have 2 feet on the floor, but they've got to be glued together, glued to the floor, no jumping, no hopping, and I want you to try the same thing. See how far you can reach without falling over, and see how far you can reach behind you and to the side of you. See, have a try, if you can go so far forward that you come up onto your tiptoes. I'm going to dip my camera down so you can see my feet. See if you can try going so far forwards that you come onto your tiptoes, and into your heels. See how far you can go backwards without falling over, okay? And without moving your feet. That is, I wonder if you think that's harder or easier. I think for me, that's a little bit easier, but I still feel like I'm going to fall over. So it's not perfect. Now I want you to try putting your feet wide apart like this. You can bend your knees. And now see how far you can reach forwards and backwards and side to side. Imagine you're in a strong wind and you can't move your feet. Now, I wonder which one of those you found the easiest and which one you found the hardest. I think for me, I found the first one on one leg was the hardest, and on two legs like this apart was definitely the easiest. I feel a bit like a ninja when I'm like that. I can do anything. I feel like I'm on, I don't know, like X-Men or like in an action movie or something. Because this is a much better way to stand, isn't it? To be able to move around. It's like a really good base to be able to move around. Okay, amazing. The next thing that I want you to do is to get your ball, or if you haven't got a ball, your screwed up bit of paper, or your pair of socks, whatever you're using. And I want you to put it on the floor. I'm going to try and put it where you guys can see it. Yeah, okay. I'm going to put it there. And I want you to stand right next to it. And then I want you to take one super massive step away from the ball. So a really big step. So that's my big step that I've taken. Okay? And then once you've done that, here's your challenge. I want you to try and pick up the ball with your hand, but here are the rules. Your other hand has to go behind your back, so you can only use one hand, and you absolutely can't move your feet once you've started. So if you have to keep your feet together on the spot and see if you can get that ball in your hand, okay? But you can't move your feet and you can't use your other hand, okay? That's my challenge. See if you can do it, okay? I fell. I wonder if anyone else fell. Okay, I'm gonna have another go. Remember, put it on the spot and then take one big step away so you're not too close. I'm gonna try and use my other hand. I got it. Yes! I wonder if anyone else managed to get it. It wasn't very easy, was it? I fell the first time. That's pretty hard. It's hard work. You have to like move your hand. Really, really hard work. My wrist's a bit sore now. I'm trying to think what might make that easier. What about this? Okay, you can now put your ball on the floor, take a big step away. Okay, this time, one hand behind your back. You can use one hand, but you can also move one foot, okay? You can move one of your feet. So choose which foot you're going to move, and you're also allowed to move one foot. See if you can get the ball now into your hand. How would you do it? I'm going to go. Easy peasy. If you did it like me, you can do a step, can't you, to get much closer. Do a little lunge, and then you can just pick it up. That's really easy. I wonder if there are any other ways that people did it. I'm trying to think of another way. What about this? Okay, try it that way. If you haven't already tried that one, try that one. So you can move your foot, but use your foot to bring it closer to you. Get it right in front of you, and then you can just bend to pick it up. Easy peasy. Okay, so I think we realised it is much easier to get the ball if you're allowed to use your feet to get it, okay? If you're just trying to get it with your hand, that's really hard. It's really hard work. And it's much easier to wave about in the wind when you've got your legs apart like this, spread out, than it is if you're on the spot, or if you've just got one leg. And we're thinking about plants today. I want you to think about the roots of a plant under a tree, okay? And why a plant has roots under a tree. And one of the reasons why plants have roots and trees have roots is to help them not to fall over and to be able to stand up when it's really, really windy and when the weather's really bad. Yeah? Because if you've got big roots, imagine these are your big roots of your tree. You can do all sorts, can't you? You can wave around. Even if it's really windy, you don't fall over. Whereas if plants if they were just stuck in the ground, they didn't have any roots, it's a lot harder to stand up when it's windy. And the second reason why plants have roots is so that they can get things, so that they can get water and nutrients from the soil. Nutrients are like vitamins, like the food that they have. Like when we have lots of fruit and vegetables, there are nutrients in them that help us to keep healthy and grow really well. So the roots have to get stuff from the soil, from the ground, just like we had to get the ball. When we didn't have any roots, if the plant just had to use its leaves to try and get the water, it's going to be really, really, really hard to get it. But if plants have roots, they can suck up the water and the nutrients and suck them up and bring them much, much closer so they can go up through the plant, okay? So that's the two reasons why plants need to have roots, so that they can stand up in strong weather, and also that they can get things from the ground, the water and the nutrients that they need. Okay, next challenge that I have for you. I want you to take your ball or your socks or your paper, and I want you to put it on your feet. Balance it on your feet, okay? Here's the challenge. You've got to get that ball into your hand, into one of your hands, it doesn't matter which one, but, my ball's fallen off, but you are not allowed to bend your knees or your back or your body to get it. So you have to stay straight and get the ball into your hand. Okay, see if you can do it. This is going to be really hard. I don't even know how to do this. Okay. What about if I do this? I feel like maybe you can like roll. No. I've lost my ball. Where did it go? I wonder if anyone's managed to do it. I'm not doing very well at it. I feel like jumping is the right way to go. No. No. I wonder if any of you have managed to do it. Maybe if you're really good at like football or something like that, you might have managed to find a trick where you can do it. I have not managed to do it. I keep on dropping it. It's really, really hard. And the only way I think that I can easily get that ball with my hand is if I can bend and pick it up, okay? Because this, it's too hard. It's too hard for me. I can't do it. Okay, here's another challenge for you. I want you to grab your book and I want you to try and balance your book on your head, okay? Easy, right? That's so easy. Okay, but I'm gonna make it a little bit harder, okay? Because the rules are, you have to balance your book on your head, but you're not allowed to stand still. You have to keep moving and wiggling all the time, and you have to keep moving your head Okay, you can't keep your head still. Your head and your body have to be moving. See if you can balance your book on your head while your head and your body are moving, okay? Nope. Okay. I feel like I should be able to, no. Okay, I'm gonna have one more go. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm terrible at that. I'm absolutely terrible at that. Okay, now see if you can balance your book on your head, but you're allowed to stay still. You're allowed to keep your head and your neck still. And see if you can do it now. Okay. Yeah, it works. Woo. Okay, and if you're doing really well at that, try and nod your head. If you move your head, it's just too hard, isn't it? It's just too hard. Okay, fantastic. I want us to think now about another bit of the plant. So we've talked about the roots. Now I want us to think about the stem, okay? The main green stem of the plant. And there are two reasons why a plant has a stem. And one reason is that the stem helps to get the water and the nutrients from the roots up into the rest of the plant, okay? If there was no stem, if we just had roots and then leaves, then we wouldn't have any way of getting the water and the nutrients up into the rest of the plant. It's really hard, isn't it? We need to have a stem. We need to have a link, a stem that can take all the water and the nutrients up through the plant. So that's the first reason why a plant has to have a stem. And the second reason, I want you to imagine this is a leaf, okay? This is a leaf. When you have a nice stem, it holds the leaf up, doesn't it? It holds the leaf up beautifully into the air. If we didn't have a stem, if there was nothing supporting the leaf, if it was just wobbly, the leaf wouldn't be able to stay up, would it? It wouldn't be held up into the air. It would just keep falling to the ground if it doesn't have a proper stem to hold it firm and to support it. Okay, so that's why plants need a stem, so it can get the water and the nutrients up into the plant, and also that it can hold the leaves and the flowers up. Great. Okay, I've got one more challenge for you. I think you'll enjoy this one. Okay, I want you to go into the kitchen and make me a cup of tea, okay? But before you go, I just have three little rules, okay? You're not allowed to use water. No water allowed. You're not allowed to use a kettle. And you're not allowed to use a tea bag, okay? So I want you to go to the kitchen and make me a cup of tea, but you're not allowed to use water or a kettle or a tea bag. Okay, off you go. Why is no one going to make me a cup of tea? I really need a cup of tea now. Okay, obviously I'm teasing because you can't. It's impossible to make a cup of tea without water and a kettle, or maybe a saucepan, I suppose you could make it with, couldn't you? And a tea bag. Those are the things that you need to make a cup of tea. And most people also like to have a bit of milk, don't they, in their tea? You can't make a cup of tea without those key ingredients and key things that you need. Okay, and this is a bit like the leaves on a plant, okay? Because the leaves on a plant help the plant to make a cup of tea, to make food and drink and the things that it needs, okay? A leaf is where all of those things happen. The leaf gathers all of the ingredients that it needs to make its food and its drink. And when a plant makes a cup of tea or makes food, it needs three things. It needs water, just like the water that we would use to make a cup of tea. It needs energy, okay? It needs something to make everything go together. Like when we bake a cake, we have to put it in the oven, don't we? We need energy, we need heat to make the cake cook. And it's the same when we make a cup of tea. We need a kettle, we need energy to make the water hot. Now, a plant doesn't use a kettle, does it? But it does use light from the sun. That's the energy that it uses. It uses light energy from the sun. So it uses water, it uses light, and it also uses something called carbon dioxide. And I want all of you to go, you do a big blow like that. Okay, this in front of you now is carbon dioxide. When we breathe in oxygen. Oxygen goes in, and we breathe out carbon dioxide, okay? And plants do the opposite of that. Plants breathe in carbon dioxide, and they breathe out oxygen, okay? So to make food, a plant needs water, it needs light from the sun, energy, and it needs carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is a bit like the tea bag. That's the ingredients that the plant uses to make its food and its drink. So that's why the plant has leaves. And some plants also have flowers, okay? And flowers are really important because flowers are where the seeds of the plant are kept. And that's what helps the seeds to make a new flower, okay? A new flower doesn't just grow by accident. It grows because a seed gets planted. Like earlier, plant the corn, plant the potatoes, plant the bananas. You have to plant a seed, don't you? Or a bulb to make a new plant grow. It doesn't just grow out of nothing. I want us to think a little bit about seeds now. This is the last thing we're going to do today. And I want you to get your piece of paper or your piece of toilet paper, whatever you're using. I'm going to dip my camera. And I want you to put your piece of paper on the floor at one side of the room, okay, on the floor. And here's your challenge. I want you to try and see how many different ways you can find to move that piece of paper from that side of the room to the other side of the room. Okay, so if you want, you can make a start line and a finish line. See how many different ways you can find to move that paper from one way to the other way. So you can just pick it up and carry it and put it down. That's one very easy way. But see if you can think of some more crazy, creative ways to move that piece of paper from there to the other side of the room, okay? And I'm gonna have a try too, so if you run out of ideas, you can always look and see what I'm doing and see if you can make it work as well. We'll see if we can have a go. So I'm gonna, okay. What about, that? Yes! What about, ooh, I know. This is taking ages. See if you can blow your piece of paper from one side of the room to the other. Okay. What else could I do? plane didn't fly very well. Another thing you can do, especially if you're using paper, it won't work if you're using toilet paper, but you could try and make a paper aeroplane. Woo! See if that will fly across the room. My paper aeroplane is not very good. What about, oh, I know. Take my shoe off. I'm putting my paper in my shoe and I'm gonna send it across the room like that. Throw it. Woo! Still made it, my piece of paper. Okay. I wonder how many different ways you found to move your piece of paper across the room. Okay. I want you to imagine for a second that your piece of paper is a bit like a seed that comes out of a plant. And I know that a paper is square and it doesn't really look like a seed, but it is a bit like a seed because one of the things about paper is it's quite light, isn't it? It's quite delicate. And so I don't know if any of you tried to throw your paper, but it doesn't really go very far because it's quite light, isn't it? So I wonder how many ways you found to move your piece of paper, your seed, across the room. Because plants have to find ways to move their seeds, to spread them all out so that new plants will grow in different places. So this is one of the problems that plants have to solve, is how they're going to get their seeds to move and spread so that new plants will grow. So, some of you probably tried doing this. Carrying your piece of paper, okay? I'm sure that's the easiest way, isn't it, to move the piece of paper, is just to pick it up and move it. And actually, plants use that method too. And they use animals to do that. So sometimes seeds will have little hooks on them, which means that they can hook onto an animal, that's me, I'm the animal, and the animal will carry it and drop it somewhere else. It will fall off the animal's fur. And so the seed gets carried and spread around. So that's one of the ways that plants move seeds, is by animals carrying, picking up and carrying the seeds from one place to another. Okay, I also tried this method. Okay, I took my shoe off because the paper was too light to really throw it. So I took my shoe off, I put my paper into my shoe, and then I could move my shoe. But the paper's still in the shoe, so it's still moved. And then at the other end, you can take the paper out of the shoe. Now, plants also use this method. Sometimes they get their seeds into something else to carry it. And this is where it's a bit funny, because what happens is that an animal, imagine that my shoe is an animal, it's a dog, okay? The dog comes along, ooh, tasty, I think I'll eat that. And the dog eats the paper, eats the seed. And then the dog goes somewhere else. And then the dog does a poo. And the seed comes out and gets left behind. And then the seed can grow in a new place. So that's one of the tactics that plants use, is that they will get animals to come and eat the seeds and carry the seeds somewhere else. And then when it does a poo, the seed will come out again. So that's another method. So animals carry them from one place to another. Animals also eat them, and they go from one place to another. I wonder if we thought of any other ways. I tried this method. Blowing my paper. And I also tried making a paper aeroplane. It's not going to work now because my paper's a bit scuffed up. But I tried making a paper aeroplane to fly my piece of paper. And that's another method that plants use to move their seeds. They use the wind. They use the wind to carry their seeds. Now, I tried to make an aeroplane so that my seed would be a better shape to travel. And sometimes in nature, we see seeds that have a special shape so that they can move better in the wind. Have you ever seen, like, they come out of dandelions, but they're like like when a dandelion blows, the seeds are really light, aren't they? And they go floating through the air because they're designed to spin in the air and travel on the wind. And you see it sometimes, the little windmill ones. Have you seen those? I think they come from a sycamore maybe. And they spin in the air and they travel on the wind. Just like me trying to make a paper aeroplane so that my seed would travel better. I also tried this method, throwing my piece of paper. Or some of you might have tried this method, scrunching it up and then throwing it. That works really well. And some plants do this. Some plants explode and they throw their seeds out to spread them out. Sometimes, like peas do this. They have a pod, a pea pod, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and then eventually, it explodes and it sends all of its seeds inside flying, so that they can spread out and new plants can grow. And the last method, which you can't do in your living room, is that some plants use water. So some plants will let their seeds go into water and their seeds float and get carried along by maybe a river and dropped off somewhere else. Okay, so there's loads of different ways that plants spread out their seeds. Okay, you can get an animal to pick it up and carry it on its fur, maybe pick it up and carry it. You can get an animal to eat it and carry it and then do a poo. Ooh, and there's my seed. What else can we do? We can blow them on the wind through the air. We can put them in water. They flow along, and we can explode and throw them, okay, and they'll spread out. And we call that dispersal. That means spreading out, yeah? Seed dispersal means spreading out, sending out the seeds. And so we've thought about lots of different ways today that plants do seed dispersal. And also we've had a bit of fun and done crazy things, which is what I really like. So hopefully you've learned lots today about plants. We've learned about roots that stop us from blowing over in the wind, and roots that let us get water and nutrients from the soil. We've learned about the stem that helps us to keep the leaves and the flowers held up, and that helps us to get the water and bring it up through the plant. We heard about leaves that make the plant food and drink using water, light from the sun, light energy from the sun, and carbon dioxide. And we've learned about how different seeds travel and get thrown and carried to get spread out, seed dispersal, so that new plants can grow. I hope you had lots and lots of fun this morning. I'm going to be back on Thursday morning. We're going to be learning some new stuff. See if you can practice head, shoulders, knees and toes backwards, and we will try it again on Thursday and see if we do better than we did today, because I got very confused. Have a lovely few days. I hope it stays sunny where you are, and I will see you on Thursday. Bye, everyone.